What was your name? Cruella.
Have you ever tried to do a British accent? It's not easy, is it? Did it sound something like this?
British people be like, it's Tuesday, innit?
I love that video. Well, today we're talking about Emma Stone's British accent in her new film, Cruella. Now, this is what she normally sounds like.
Sheer luck of a movie like this is that the costumes do a lot of your work for you as an actor.
And this is what her British accent sounds like in the film.
Why don't we work together to create some buzz for this old rag that you continually fill with that old hag? Want
to learn how she did it? Stay tuned. Hey, it's your London friend, Teacher Tom here, and I'm here to teach you fresh, modern British English so that you can communicate with confidence and clarity. Now today, we're looking at Cruella, which is the prequel to one of the all-time great Disney stories, 101 Dalmatians. Now, I don't know about you, but I love dogs. And in the last few weeks, I've been looking into getting one. So when I saw this film was coming out, my eyes lit up. I'm so keen to get a dog that my girlfriend actually bought me a doggy mask. Emma Stone comes from Phoenix, Arizona in the United States and has starred in hit films like La La Land and The Favourite. I don't know if you've seen La La Land, but it's brilliant. Anyway, here in this clip, she's promoting her new film Cruella in her natural American English accent.
Once you put those things on, you feel like Cruella de Vil.
Now, did you notice the way she said on? Let's hear it again.
Once you put those things on.
Now here she is saying the same word, but as Cruella.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, hang on. We haven't started yet, darling.
There's a very distinct difference. Listen to them side by side.
Those things on.
Hang on.
So, in American English, it's said with an R sound. On. Whereas in British English, it's an O, so on. Now in Cruella, Emma Stone is speaking with an accent you could broadly describe as conservative received pronunciation, or RP, as it's also known. Now this is a very formal, upper class accent that has associations with education and privilege. Now this O sound is one of the most notable features of this accent, and particularly with that articulation at the front of the mouth. O, so on. Whereas for me, I would have it a little bit further back in the mouth. On. Here are some more examples of that sound.
It's not, Estella. That's the past. So you go to parties and you take pictures and you print gossip. Well, then you remember what fun that is.
So we had not, gossip, and what. So this sentence would sound something like, what not to do when one is on the loop. Okay, let's move on to the second pronunciation feature.
And you designed this?
You did, actually. 1965 collection.
So another key pronunciation feature of Emma Stone's conservative RP accent is the short I on words ending in Y. So it's actually, not actually. Actually. That I sound there.
You did, actually.
This pattern is repeated again here.
Obviously, you're weak.
Did you hear that O sound again? O, obviously. And that short I. Now going back to actually, you'll also hear a bit of elision, which means sounds or syllables have been omitted. She says it like actually, when in other accents it might be actually. So these vowel sounds in the middle have disappeared. And we find this on the word familiar as well. Let's listen to that.
Who are you? You look vaguely familiar.
I look stunning. I don't know about familiar, darling.
So instead of familiar, she says familiar. So she elides the vowel sounds. Familiar. They disappear. This almost disregard for vowel sounds is quite common in conservative RP. There's a phenomenon called smoothing, in which diphthongs and triphthongs, that's 2 vowel sounds and 3 vowel sounds, are smooth. So a word like power becomes pa. A word like shower becomes sha. So if I were to slip into like a super posh British English accent, I would say, I had a pa sha for an ah. That usually does the trick. Now, would you speak like this? Well, that's completely up to you. This is a very formal British accent that isn't that common when you're walking around London and your day-to-day business. But it's excellent to understand what's being said and to identify this accent. Certainly you hear this accent in the Crown and Downton Abbey, amongst other places. Okay, so we've looked at a few individual sounds. Now let's focus on Emma Stone's intonation.
Sheer luck of a movie like this is that the costumes do a lot of your work for you as an actor.
Did you notice how her intonation went up at the end of the sentence on for you as an actor? Let's listen again.
Costumes do a lot of your work for you as an actor.
So we're going up. Now this is something we call uptalk. It's rising intonation at the end of a sentence where we might expect falling intonation. Now functionally, it could be because the speaker wants to indicate that they haven't finished what they're saying and they don't want to be interrupted. Usually speakers go down at the end of a sentence to indicate that they have finished, but it's quite plausible that this is a weapon to fight interrupters. We're often being interrupted when we're speaking, so this maybe stops that. Equally, it could be to express something in a tentative way, to check that someone agrees or disagrees. There are a number of reasons why someone might use uptalk, and to be honest, it does have its critics. Uptalk is generally associated with younger speakers, and although we think of it as being a feature of American or Australian English, it has certainly crept into British English as well in recent years. Now, in Cruella, you won't hear any uptalk, but you will hear Emma Stone's elongation of vowel sounds and the use of word stress for dramatic effect.
Why don't we work together to create some buzz for this old rag that you continually fill with that old hag?
Okay, so did you hear the wonderful way she stressed together? Buzz, rag, continually, hag. Wow. Now this wonderfully theatrical use of stress, coupled with that slightly softened, whispery voice quality, reminds me a lot of a much-loved British actor, Joanna Lumley, who is famed for her unique voice and accent.
I've got to that awkward stage where I go, darling, this would look lovely on you. And I watch their faces going,
Darling, this would look lovely on you. Ah, what a voice. Now, speaking of darling, here is Cruella's iconic line.
Anita, darling.
Anita, darling. I love it. Right, now, that R sound is another very distinct aspect of conservative RP.
It's not, Estella. That's the past.
So did you hear that? Past, past. Now on that past, it's an R sound and it's articulated a bit further back in the mouth. Past, past. We find this sound on past, last, laugh, bath. Now in Emma Stone's regular accent, these words are pronounced with an ah sound. So it would be past, last, laugh, bath. So this is definitely a key feature of conservative RP. Now I personally think that Emma Stone did a fantastic job of doing an authentic British English accent in Cruella. Okay guys, click here to see my breakdown of Harry Styles' British English accent, and click here to learn more about the 20 different British English accents. And I'll see you in the next video.